get started. Yep. Good afternoon, everybody. We are going to go ahead and get started with the Rules and Legislative Oversight hearing. My name is Mark Conway. I am filling in as chair today. Chair Schleifer is running a little bit late. He's having some car issues. Today we're here for EA 23-0158, Matthew Matt Campbell, for Executive Director of the Baltimore Convention Center. In attendance today, we have Councilman Torrance and we have Councilwoman Ramos. And I expect there will be others here soon. I'm going to open up the floor to Mr. Campbell to give us a little bit about himself, and we'll start there. Mr. Campbell.
Thank you, Councilman, and thank you to the committee for allowing me to speak here today. For the record, my name is Matt Campbell. I am very humbly returning back to city service after about 14 months away to take over the reins for a very respected mentor in Peggy Didakis at the Baltimore Convention Center. And I've spent my entire career in venue management to varying degrees. And having spent 9 years with the city previously, I feel that I'm specifically positioned to help move the convention center into its next generation of life, so to speak. As we all know, the building is aging and is putting us at a competitive disadvantage. And buildings don't have voices. And so I like to think of myself as the person that kind of speaks on behalf of the building, and have got 150 plus full-time employees that are depending on the infrastructure to last another 20, 30, 40 years. So I'm just humbly excited to come back and lead the organization into its next, like I said, the next generation of its tenure here in Baltimore as the state's convention center and the city's convention center and the community's convention center. So I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. And again, just thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Any questions from members of the committee? Councilwoman Ramos.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thanks for joining us today and for your work. I wonder if you could, when you and I spoke at our meeting, it was, I think, heartening for me to hear kind of how your concept of the convention center isn't just the box, right? That it is, you know, where people come, and then you all are, you and your staff are ambassadors for the city to show folks where else would be amazing for them to visit this great city. And so can you talk a little bit about sort of your concept of how that is going to work? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So I've been in nonprofit my entire life. The convention center, while it makes money for others in our city and our state, runs a deficit. So I very much think of us as doing nonprofit work in our building. And one of the things that I think is incredibly important is that the community knows what we are, why we are, and how we serve. So for me, it's a two-prong approach. One, obviously, we have to facilitate the work of getting conventioneers into the building in our city to generate that hotel tax revenue. But when we don't have those large conventions, we need to be filling that space with events that bring our community to us. And that could be anything from the car show, the tattoo convention, the Comic-Cons of the world, or the Be More Healthy Expos and the Homeless Connect and things of that nature. So that's one thing, is I want to make sure that everybody in the city feels that the convention center is for them. They've been there, they understand what it's there for, beyond just out-of-towners to come and leave. At the same time, the other important priority is to make sure that when we do have conventioneers visiting our city, that they're able to explore the city and hopefully come back in subsequent visits with their families, or even move here. So we are going to take both of those prongs very seriously and making sure we're maximizing our space when we don't have those large conventions, to make sure that we're prioritizing community use, and at the same time, we're making sure that when they're here, they see bits and pieces of all the various districts, the various attractions, the various small business owners. We just visited Made in Baltimore's pop-up shop today, and figuring out how we can bring those individual entrepreneurs and their products made in Baltimore into our building, and that maybe if someone sees that, they'll be like, oh, well, we need to go out to where their actual shop is and experience those neighborhoods and those
Right.
businesses.
Yeah, thank you. I'm anxious to see the new posters and the art that you will put at the convention center that really reflect the rest of the city. And I obviously have had great interactions with your staff that are, have always been good ambassadors. So that's just always been my concern. If we're putting a lot of work and time and energy in this space, that, it becomes a jumping off point and not just captures people there. That's very important to me because we've got such a great city to share. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ramos. Give me 1 second. We need to vote. Can you get back? Okay, thanks. All right.
You can ask if there's
All right,
anyone
I
who wants
wanted to,
testify.
anyone who would like to testify. This is to approve. Is there anyone that would like to testify? All right, seeing no testimony, I want to acknowledge Councilman Costello, and Councilman Torrance, who are here. We have a quorum. Is there a motion to move Mr. Campbell?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded.
Moved by Costello, seconded by Ramos. President.
Just want to acknowledge President Mosby stepped into the room.
Okay, we ready for roll call, Mr. Chair?
Yes, we are.
Okay. Chair Schleifer is absent. Mr. Burnett is absent. Mr. Costello.
It's a pleasure to vote yes for Mr. Campbell. I'm so excited that so many people came out for this exciting executive appointments hearing this evening. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Vice President Milton is absent. Member Ramos.
Yes.
Member Ramos votes aye. Mr. Torrance.
May I explain my vote? Mac, it's a pleasure to welcome you back to the city of Baltimore. Looking forward to implementing your vision and working with this council. With that being said, I vote aye.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Torrance votes aye. Chair Conway.
Aye.
Chair Conway votes aye. Mr. Chair, there are 4 votes in the affirmative, no negative. The nomination can go to second reader at the next council meeting.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Campbell. Thank you, sir. Thank you, appreciate it. With that, this hearing is adjourned.
Okay, I need 2 signatures and then